Level 1, the pre-law student. You are 19 years old and you are sitting in a college debate class, watching a classmate dismantle an argument you thought was airtight, and instead of feeling humiliated the way you probably should, you feel something closer to hunger. You want to know how to do that. You start reading transcripts of famous trials for fun, the way other students your age watch television, highlighting the specific moments where one lawyer outmaneuvers another with nothing but words and preparation. You declare political science as a major, mostly because it seems adjacent to the thing you actually want, which you don't quite have language for yet beyond a vague, persistent conviction that you're good at arguing and want to get paid to do it professionally. Your parents ask more than once if you've considered something more stable. You tell them you have. You haven't, not really. Level 2, the law student. You are 22 and you are sitting in your first week of law school, experiencing something close to genuine fear for the first time in your academic life, because the Socratic method your professors use is specifically designed to expose exactly how much you don't know in front of everyone, without warning, on any given day. The first year is famous for a reason. You read more pages in a single semester than you read in your entire undergraduate degree combined. You learn to brief cases in your sleep, developing a specific kind of exhaustion that comes from thinking in arguments constantly, even in conversations that have nothing to do with the law, annoying people who just wanted to discuss dinner plans without being cross-examined about their reasoning. You survive your first cold call badly, stammering through an answer that your professor picks apart methodically in front of 80 classmates. You survive your second cold call slightly less badly. By your third year, something has genuinely changed in how your mind processes an argument, and you're not entirely sure when that happened. Level 3, the associate. You are 26 and you've landed a position at a firm, wearing a suit that still feels slightly like a costume, working hours that your law school friends warned you about and that you didn't fully believe until you lived them yourself. Your first assignment is document review, tens of thousands of pages, searching for a single relevant phrase, work that has nothing to do with the courtroom drama that made you want this career in the first place. You learn the actual shape of the job slowly. Billable hours become the organizing principle of your entire existence, tracked in 6-minute increments with a precision that starts to feel faintly absurd applied to your own life. You pull your first genuine all-nighter preparing for a partner's deposition, running on vending machine coffee, discovering a specific kind of exhausted clarity around 4 in the morning that either breaks people or teaches them something permanent about their own limits. Level 4, the litigator. You are 31 when you finally second chair a real trial, sitting beside a senior partner, watching a jury's faces the way you once watched debate opponents in college, trying to read exactly which arguments are landing and which are sliding past unnoticed. You examine your first witness alone 18 months later, hands steadier than you expected them to be, years of preparation converting into something that finally resembles the courtroom instinct you'd been chasing since you were 19. You lose your first case as lead counsel. Nobody warns you how specifically that loss will sit with you, not as a professional setback exactly, but as a personal failure that replays itself uninvited at 3 in the morning for weeks afterward. You win your next one. The win does not erase the loss. You learn that both feelings, apparently, are simply part of the permanent furniture of this career now. Level 5, the partner. You are 39 when you make partner, a milestone that changes your title, your income, and almost nothing about the actual pace of the work, which somehow manages to accelerate rather than ease. You now bring in your own clients instead of simply serving the ones assigned to you, discovering that rainmaking is an entirely different skill from litigating, one nobody explicitly taught you in law school or during your associate years. You start mentoring junior associates, watching them pull their first all-nighters with the same shell-shocked expression you once wore, recognizing exactly which ones will make it through the grinding first years and which ones are quietly counting down to an exit. You give advice you wish someone had given you at their stage. Some of them listen, most of them, like you did, need to learn it the harder way regardless. Level 6, the senior counsel. You are 52 and your name now carries weight in rooms you enter, opposing counsel adjusting their strategy specifically because you're the one sitting across the table. You've tried enough cases now that courtroom instinct has become something closer to muscle memory than conscious calculation. The way certain surgeons describe their hands knowing what to do slightly before their conscious mind catches up. You've also accumulated the specific scar tissue of a decades-long career. Cases you won that still bother you for reasons that have nothing to do with the verdict. Clients whose lives you genuinely changed for the better, Others you couldn't help no matter how skilled your argument turned out to be. You start turning down cases you would have taken without hesitation 20 years earlier, having learned exactly which fights are actually worth what they cost you personally to win. Level 7, The Legend. You are 68, mostly transitioned into teaching and occasional consulting now, standing in front of a law school classroom instead of a jury, watching first-year students brace for the same Socratic method that once terrified you completely. You recognize instantly and completely the specific look on the face of the student who just got cold called and is currently discovering exactly how much they don't know. You think sometimes about that 19-year-old in a college debate class, watching a classmate dismantle an argument and feeling something closer to hunger than humiliation. He had no real idea what the actual job would demand of him. The hours, the losses that replay at 3 in the morning, the exhausted clarity of 4 a.m. depositions, the specific weight of a client's entire future, resting on how well you construct an argument. He just wanted to know how to win a debate. He had no idea yet that winning was never really going to be the point. Understanding exactly what you were fighting for and why it mattered enough to earn the exhaustion, that was always going to be the actual education, the one no classroom could ever fully provide in advance.